Hi, coming up next on LiveWire, a couple of discussions with some local filmmakers about their new short films and a discussion with a representative from Sacramento Fire Department about Girls Firefighter Camp. Should be fun, so stay with us. Hi, with me today, right now, are two filmmakers, local filmmakers, Matthew B. Johnson, right? And Sean, your last name is McClear? McAleer. So I am so excited that you decided to join us today. You, Matthew, have won one of the winning script writers of this year's a place called Sacramento Film Premiere. It's actually a screenwriting contest turned film project that we're going to air in October. So, and you finished your films.
We did.
Yay! So tell me, so many people submit scripts, and you're actually a two-time winner. Can you tell me anything about this?
Yeah, so this is actually my second time being picked as one of the winners for the contest.
Cool.
The first time was in 2009. And at that point, we were both much younger and much less experienced when it came to any sort of artistic production that involved anything outside, writing outside of a coffee shop or, making, home movies. And so that kind of fell on its face a little bit because we were just unprepared for, the amount of work and coordination and, balancing of people's schedules. There weren't quite the deadlines in place that there were for this the 2022 contest. So this year, when we entered, we kind of talked to each other and said, hey, we're going to do our best to really stay on top of the deadlines. We're going to get things done early because last time so many things went wrong at the last minute. And luckily, maybe it's because we were so on top of things, nothing really came up that set us back like it did the first time. I think that sort of that advanced planning and being prepared and being very committed and aware of when we needed to have things done by.
Wait a second, let me interrupt. So Sean, do you agree with him? Nothing really came up this time?
Well, I think since we had that experience back in 2009, we kind of knew what to look out for and, things to avoid.
Also, that my quick mental math, that's about 13 years ago, correct?
Yeah.
So you're a lot more experienced just in life, and I imagine your project management skills are much stronger at this point.
Decidedly, yes.
But to actually have a winning script twice, considering the competition is always so thick, that's a great compliment to you.
Yeah, and I take it as such and humbly. Yeah, and it's funny because one of our lead actors has been in multiple years of films, and he himself is a previous contest winner. And at one point, Sean and I and Nathan Reedy is the actor's name. He was fantastic and great to work with. He was saying how he was really impressed with the script that he got. He really liked it and sort of felt that he gravitated toward it. Where others he had read, he's like, well, they're good, but I didn't quite connect with them the way that I connected with this one. And he seems to be of the opinion that it sort of stood out among others that he had read, which again I take as a very nice compliment.
It is. Nathan actually was one of our script writing winners last year, and he won Best Actor Award for A Perfect Match. And so people, if they hear this, can watch that on our video on demand system.
He's a very talented actor,
right?
So, and a really good guy. So
It's interesting. There's a few local actors who we do a cast and crew call, right? And we invite everyone in Sacramento County to come and volunteer either as cast or crew. So you don't necessarily have to have experience. You have to have somebody trust that you will do a good job if you're a novice actor. And I was wondering where you got Ashley from, the co-host. It's basically a film with two lead actors, an actress and an actor. So how did you come upon Ashley Escoto? Is that her last name?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, she was one of the first people that came up to our booth at the cast and crew call back in, what was it?
Is it May?
I think it was May.
I think we had it in May.
And she just came up and said, "Hey, I really liked your, sort of what the script was about, and I'd love to be a part of it. And here's sort of my resume." And
Cool.
so yeah, we called her and she came and she was great.
Cool. I'd love to run. You gave us a 1-minute piece, and I'd like to roll it if we
Yeah.
could.
Okay.
So do you have a safe place to stay tonight?
Why?
Well, the streets can be dangerous when the sun goes down.
Okay, that's a compelling little taste of what it is we're going to see. I thought we would see more of an interactive clip, so this is interesting. Now I'm even more intrigued. So why homelessness? Tell me where the source of this script come from.
So when I was a senior in high school, I did a semester-long community service project at Loaves and Fishes, and specifically I worked in Friendship Park. And it was during that 5-month span that I really got to see firsthand the kinds of things that homeless people sort of endured on a daily basis. Not just they would come to the park to get their one hot meal for the day, but all the various services they needed, work projects that they were available. At the time, there was a nurse on staff, and there was a doctor that would come once a week. There were also things like mental health services. Because unfortunately, things like mental health really play an enormous role in things like homelessness and the ability to, maintain a job and, sort of a steady, secure, home life and everything. And just how hard it was for people that were on the street to get off the street.
And so now it's even almost doubled the
Yeah.
problem, because that was years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm being told by the director that we have to show a couple of your behind the scene clips. So I was wondering if we could
Oh, yeah.
cut to that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right.
So who is this?
So that's Ace. His name's Hayden Gardner, but he goes by Ace. He's a 15-year-old kid who wants to make movies and was trying to be a part of as many projects as he could, and he was really, really helpful.
And there's the two lead actors.
Yeah,
right?
so it's Ashley on the left and Nathan on the right. They were both fantastic. That's Garrett Lintz, who was our boom mic operator. Oh, hey, there's Sean.
There you are, busy working.
Yep.
So what was the location that you guys shot at? Because it's a beautiful street there.
Yeah, that's in front of the Old Soul at the Weatherstone on 21st Street
In Sacramento.
Yeah.
in Sacramento.
Yeah. And so how is it that they were patient enough to let you shoot in front of their establishment?
They told me that as long as we didn't get in the way of their normal business flow, and as long as we weren't disruptive, that they were fine with it.
But it's impossible not to be disruptive.
Luckily, we weren't directly in front of their main door. We were kind of off to the side and then around the corner most days. So we did our best to be as unobtrusive as we could possibly be.
Very cool. Small crew then.
Oh yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you didn't have a lot of locations, which should have made it a little simpler, right?
That was something
Yeah.
we learned from the first time. The first time we had, I think it was 7 or 8 different locations, and this time I think it was 2.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
So you learned from experience. What's on screen right now is if anyone wants to buy tickets to a place called Sacramento, it's our big community outreach fundraiser for Access Sacramento, and you get to hang out in the Crest Theater and watch some amazing short films, including Matthew and Sean's, which is called Regrets and Second Chances, right?
Yes.
Very nice script. Congratulations. I look
you.
forward to seeing it on the
Great.
big screen.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
All right. So, do we have any time to maybe look at another couple of shots, or are we? I don't know where we are. Time. Being a guest host, I'm not used to the timing on some of these things. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. It says wrap it up. Okay. Thanks, guys. Any last thing you want to say about your film?
Just thanks for having us, and this is a great opportunity to show a spotlight on really talented local writers, actors, filmmakers. So it's really cool.
And local homelessness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's a
totally.
really good, really interesting theme that you decided to write your script about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So I guess what we're going to do is talk to Gaia Thurchi. I hope I pronounced your name right, Gaia. Our second filmmaker, who is also going to air her premiere at a place called Sacramento in October.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
So we're back and we're talking to Gaia Thurchi, who is a new filmmaker. I consider new filmmakers probably some of the bravest people I know because they have an idea. And she wrote the script and it was accepted at a place called Sacramento. And then she has to figure out how to actually get it made. So Gaia, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Tell me, okay, so I get to preview the films, of course. I enjoyed it tremendously. And I was wondering where you decided, where did that idea come from when you have you been, I know you're an attorney by trade. I don't know whether you're an attorney that has to do with wills. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I developed the idea while I was in a screenwriting class at Sac City College with Luther Hansen.
Good.
And it just took shape, all of the characters did, but loosely it came from family stories, my mother's extended family, so the women in my mother's family, who were some very strong and complicated women. And that's who I just ended up writing about in those classes.
And this Amma's Ashes or the Mystery of the American River?
We're just calling it Amma's Ashes.
Okay.
At this point,
You've
truncated,
reduced it.
yes.
Okay, so Amma's Ashes, obviously, it's a death in the family, correct?
Yes.
You want to just tell us sort of a brief description of what the film's about?
So just briefly, it's the story of Kavri. She's the eldest daughter and the executor of her mother's estate. And it's her mission to make sure that her mother's last wishes are fulfilled. and it has something to do with the American River. Her mother wants her ashes immersed in the American River, and it's a mystery why, because as far as anyone in the family knows, she has never visited Sacramento. And so there's a couple of troublesome sisters who want to get to the bottom of things. And then she also has this sort of a parallel subplot story about her genderqueer teen who is on a journey of their own. And that sort of summarizes what happens in this 10-minute film.
It's very intriguing. You know, when I watch the film, I think, wow, this needs to be a full-length feature, developed. Each one of these characters developed, right? I just I see this as a future piece. So I hope you don't let go of it. I hope that this is something that you could develop further. So no pressure from me. You know. So how did you find these? This is not like immediate family that you had. How did you find all these actors? We're going to answer that question after we roll your clip.
I love that question.
Good. I like that question too.
I have brought you guys here to talk about Amma's will. It's the river, apparently. She left instructions for her ashes.
In the American River?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't want us to know.
Can't you stop playing the dutiful daughter for 5 minutes?
What's next on my mom's list? Floor and road sari shops. And we can't leave till you're swathed in white funeral silk. I can't do it. You know that.
So it's very intriguing. Love the music, love the visuals. Tell me about how you managed to get, it's a fairly large crew, right? You have the 3 sisters, you have the bereaved husband, you have the grandchildren. How did you find that crew?
So it's an interesting question because they really came from all over. And that's one of the things I loved about this process was that I feel like Sacramento is just naturally is the place where it should be the center of movie making in the state. It just should be because of its location, because of how, just the conditions. And we were able to, there's so much talent north and south. We were able to gather people just because it was, sort of a unique casting opportunity. It's not every day if you're a South Asian actor that you see a casting notice. And so we attracted interest from South and North. And we really sort of drew from all over the state, which was a wonderful, it felt like it was in keeping with Access's mission.
We had a conversation beforehand about that it was Southern Indian rituals as opposed to Northern Indian rituals. Obviously, India is a huge place. So do you have anything to say about that? And then we'll take a look at some of the pictures.
Thank you. Yes, thanks for asking about that too. That was important to me just because generally, growing up when India was represented in media, it was usually North India, which may be sort of the more exotic part of India. The food might be better, I'll admit, but so my community wasn't depicted very often, and so that was important to me to be able to. It was it just naturally was part of the story because it was part of my family. So when I was writing it, it was the cultural context. But being able to depict that as well, which the movie does at the very beginning, I think with the pan up over the tiffin that they're having, it's very typical South Indian food, idli on a banana leaf, and the music as well.
Okay, well let's show a couple of your behind the scenes. This is a beautiful shot right here. Who are these actresses?
Oh, so this is Reeti Diwan, and she's from Seattle. And then that's me in the middle, and then the protagonist Kavri is played by Namrata Day, and she's a Bay Area actor.
Right, and so here you are again, right, at a poolside scene. Always a brave thing to do, shooting in bathing suits. Was it cold, hot?
Wasn't the one who was in the pool, so I wasn't the brave one.
So, and is this the director? Who is this? This is obviously a crew member.
I'm so glad you selected this photograph. This is Sandy Norix. And when you were speaking with the previous filmmaker about how did he how did they make this happen? How did it go off without glitches? And I was thinking, well, how did mine go off? And I know how it went off. It was Sandy Norix was our producer, and she was extraordinary.
And you also experienced COVID that delayed some of your film, correct? I mean, this is a hard summer. A lot of heat. Most crews had to deal with delays in scheduling because of COVID. How did that work out?
I think that's worth talking about, right? Is that did happen to us. We had it was actually our final shoot, which had already been rescheduled twice. I was the one who fell ill, and I was ultra boosted and everything, and so careful. And I've traced out how it happened. There was an exposure from a friend of a friend's child, but that happened, and so we had to postpone again. But I just worked with some very professional people, and that was one of the things that this opportunity offered me was, the chance to work with these amazing professionals, because I know I couldn't have kept myself on schedule. I couldn't have put this together. I'm very aware of that. I was the creative piece, and I learned how to do a lot of things, but I was working with real pros like Sandy Norix and Craig Vincent, and they showed me the ropes to some degree, or at least a few of them.
That's good. Are you feeling brave enough to possibly do it again? And will that whole crew be at a place called Sacramento at the Crest Theater on October 14th at 7 p.m.?
I think most of them will. And I'm not sure about the actor Chris Felipe who's playing Gump. They're down in LA, so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it, but I really hope they can, because they in many ways are the heart of this film. Okay,
we're going to go to a PSA, but before we do, I just want to mention that they could watch virtually. We're going to have a virtual premiere as well. Okay, Gaia, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hey, so we're back. We're so excited to have Wendy Aguila here. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
My background is in French, not in Spanish, so you'll have to teach me a little accent.
I can always teach you Spanish.
So
yes.
Before we talk about what we're going to talk about, I am very excited that you too are going to be at a place called Sacramento as my co-host.
I'm beyond excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun.
We're going to have a good time. The filmmakers are excited. We're excited. It's going to be a thing. We're going to have a good time.
We're going to make it a thing.
Good. But if we talk about, and thank you for hosting LiveWire as a guest host.
Anytime.
We want you to come back.
Anytime.
We got all that away.
We're just chatting away here.
Let's talk about, you work for the Sacramento Fire Department, and you have an amazing program that encourages high school aged girls to participate in a firefighter camp.
Yes, we are beyond excited. This is our 3rd annual Sacramento area girls fire camp, and we cannot wait. It's going to be a great event. It's coming up in October, and it's for girls who are in grades 9 through 12, and they'll be able to do everything and try on the gear, put that on, and actually do some of the skills and work with professional women who are in the fire service. We're beyond excited.
That's interesting that they'll be working with adult women who are experienced firefighters.
Yes, this is put on by our diversity outreach and recruitment team, and with them, it comes with all the female firefighters who are volunteering their time to come out and mentor the girls and also teach them how to do all these things. They'll be climbing ladders, they'll be doing CPR, they'll be doing all of the things that they would do as a professional firefighter. So the goal is not only that they could see firefighters, female firefighters, but also that our firefighters can mentor these young girls that they too can be firefighters.
And so they actually go through the, learning with the weight of the tools and the mask. And I know we have a clip that I would love to play the clip and then have a discussion about what we see. Yeah. Is that possible?
So it's just an exciting time, and you see one of our flyers out where you can get more information about this camp and also where you can sign up. At this moment, though, we just learned that we filled up 50 spots and we're now taking waiting list names. That's how popular this girls camp is going to be, our third annual
I just think it's extraordinary. Whenever I go to, even when I talk to SMUD, they have like a vegetation department to prevent fires. Like all the different utilities are right up there trying to assist the fire department. So to have girls be mentored as future firefighters, or even, if we have a statewide emergency, we have more people who are experienced in this.
Yes, and we definitely want to encourage the next generation, especially the next generation of girls, to follow this career, that this career is for them as well. And by being there, by being able to see female firefighters doing the job and teaching them how to do this job, it's an amazing experience. And last year, I was able to experience it for the first time myself, and it's so wonderful.
Wait,
when you
did you
see...
go through this?
I did.
So you went. Maybe we can see some pictures. Let's see some pictures, and you can tell me if you did all this.
So yes, I did this.
They put you in the outfit.
Yes, you put on the whole gear.
It's heavy.
Right? And it's very heavy. So it's about 60 pounds of weight that you have. And then, yes, you're going to be doing chainsaw activities. And so the thing is that these girls come in the morning and they're very shy. They don't talk to anyone just yet. They're very shy. They're holding back. But by the end of the camp, they're smiling. They've made new friends and they have a new sense of confidence, and they know that they too can be firefighters.
So they've working with power tools, wearing the equipment,
climbing up the ladder,
being mentored, climbing through dark, deep holes.
Yes.
It sounds actually like a cool camp.
Yes, it is a very neat camp. And trust me, doing this is a lot of work, but it's so much fun.
It sounds like fun. And although there is a waiting list, there's more information at the City of Sacramento website, of course. And maybe somebody be interested in next year participating.
Yes, definitely get ready for next year.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We have to wrap it for the day, and I really appreciate you coming on and our other guests. So we hope to see you next week to our viewers.